Welcome to Shadow of History, your destination for mysterious, dark, and untold stories from world history. Today, we're delving into one of the most famous and eerie tales from the ancient world, the Curse of the Pharaohs and the mystery surrounding King Tut's tomb. The discovery of King Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922 by archaeologist Howard Carter marked one of the greatest moments in archaeology, but it also brought with it a dark legend. What was the cause of the strange deaths surrounding the tomb's opening? And does the curse truly hold power over those who dare to disturb the resting place of the ancient king? Let's uncover the chilling story behind King Tut's tomb and the curse that haunts it. In November 1922, after years of searching through the Valley of the Kings in Egypt, British archaeologist Howard Carter made one of the most extraordinary discoveries in history. The nearly untouched tomb of King Tutankhamun, a young pharaoh who had ruled Egypt during the 18th dynasty. His tomb, filled with gold artifacts, jewelry, and treasures beyond imagination, was unlike anything found in the tombs of other pharaohs. But it was not just the treasures that captured the world's attention. It was the curse that seemed to follow the discovery. King Tut, who died at the tender age of 18, had been buried in a tomb that had remained largely undisturbed for over 3,000 years. Despite his young age, his tomb was rich with items meant to guide him into the afterlife, including a golden death mask that would become one of the most iconic symbols of ancient Egypt. But it wasn't the treasure that caught the public's imagination. It was the strange series of events that followed the tomb's discovery. Almost immediately after the tomb was opened, a series of mysterious deaths began to plague those involved in the excavation. The most infamous of these was the death of Lord Carnarvon, the British aristocrat who had funded Carter's excavation. Just a few months after the tomb was opened, Carnarvon died unexpectedly from an infected mosquito bite, which led to a flurry of speculation. Was it the work of the so-called Curse of the Pharaohs? Reports began to surface, suggesting that the curse had been unleashed the moment the tomb was disturbed. The curse was said to be the vengeful spirit of King Tut himself, angered by the intrusion into his eternal resting place. According to ancient Egyptian belief, disturbing a pharaoh's tomb would bring dire consequences, and many believed that the curse was a means of protecting the tomb from grave robbers and defilers. The ancient Egyptians, it was believed, had inscribed powerful spells and warnings on the tombs to prevent any harm from befalling their mummified rulers. Lord Carnarvon's death was just the beginning. A number of other individuals who were involved in the excavation or who had visited the tomb also met untimely and strange deaths. Some, like George Gould, a wealthy American who visited the tomb shortly after its opening, died suddenly under mysterious circumstances. Others, like archaeologist A.C. Merton, fell ill or met tragic ends shortly after their involvement with the tomb. This string of untimely deaths fed into the growing myth of the curse, capturing the imagination of the public and the media. In the years following the discovery, the idea of the curse continued to grow. Newspapers and books fueled the narrative, and many began to believe that the curse was a very real and powerful force. Some even argued that the curse could be responsible for the premature deaths of more than 20 people associated with the tomb. With each death, the legend of King Tut's curse grew stronger, and the mystery surrounding his tomb deepened. But what was the truth behind the Curse of the Pharaohs? Could a curse really have been responsible for these deaths, or was there a more rational explanation? Some historians and scientists believe that the deaths may have been caused by something much more mundane, such as bacteria or toxic substances found within the tomb. The air inside ancient tombs, especially those sealed for thousands of years, could contain deadly spores, bacteria, or fungi that might have contributed to the illness or death of those who entered. Some of the individuals who died had come into direct contact with the tomb's artifacts, possibly exposing themselves to harmful pathogens. Others argue that the deaths can be explained by the psychological effects of the so-called curse. The media frenzy surrounding the tomb's opening and the widespread belief in the curse could have led to mass hysteria, with individuals who were convinced they were cursed experiencing real physical symptoms as a result of stress or anxiety. The mind, after all, is a powerful thing, And it's possible that the fear of the curse was enough to bring about real, tragic outcomes. Despite these more rational explanations, the legend of the curse persists. The mystery of King Tut's tomb, with its wealth of treasures and the ominous deaths surrounding its discovery, continues to captivate the world. But perhaps the most enduring part of the curse is its connection to the idea of ancient Egyptian mysticism and the supernatural. The tomb, after all, was designed to be a sacred place, meant to protect the soul of the pharaoh for eternity. The idea of a curse that could protect the tomb from desecration is a tantalizing and powerful one, and it speaks to the ancient Egyptians' deep belief in the afterlife and the divine power of their rulers. In addition to the mystery of the curse, there is another, more tangible mystery that continues to intrigue researchers. Why was King Tut's tomb so much smaller and less elaborate than those of other pharaohs? Many scholars have wondered why such a young king, who had ruled during a time of relative peace and prosperity, would have been buried in a tomb that was so modest compared to the grandiose burial sites of other pharaohs. Some suggest that Tutankhamun's early death may have caught the ancient Egyptians off guard, and his tomb may have been hurriedly constructed as a result. The discovery of the tomb and its treasures, along with the curse, raised more questions than it answered. What secrets lay hidden within the tomb? What did the treasures truly represent? And why was King Tut buried with such wealth? Was the tomb's relatively small size an indication of something larger, something that was lost to time? Perhaps the greatest mystery of all is why, after all these years, King Tut's tomb still captivates the imagination of people around the world. The curse of the pharaohs remains one of the most enduring myths in history, blending superstition with history in a way that few other events can. Whether the curse was real or merely the product of legend, it is undeniably linked to the discovery of King Tut's tomb. The story of the curse, the mysterious deaths, and the treasures of Tutankhamun continues to draw people into the shadows of history, where myth and reality intertwine. Thank you for joining us on this dark journey into the mysteries of the past. If you found the story of King Tut's tomb and the curse intriguing, please like this video, share it with fellow history enthusiasts, and subscribe to Shadow of History for more mysterious, dark, and untold stories from the past. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on the curse of the pharaohs. Do you believe the curse was real, or is it just a story created by fear and superstition? Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll uncover another captivating chapter in the history of forgotten and mysterious events. Until then, keep seeking the untold stories of the past, and remember, history is full of shadows, waiting to be discovered.